Tonight on Connecticut's news station, an officer-involved shooting investigation is underway. We'll look at what happened over the weekend that now has the Office of the Inspector General digging deeper.
The primary battle in Bridgeport far from over. The latest developments in this controversial election for the mayoral nomination. Place your bets. Hartford's newest sports betting venue hopes to rake in some money and help revitalize downtown. We'll tell you how.
Now at 10, this is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Good evening and thanks for joining us for the Fox 61 News at 10. I'm Brent Harden.
I'm Sarah Sanchez. We're checking on your top stories tonight in just a moment, but first we begin with weather. After a rainy start to the work week, things hopefully will be getting drier very shortly. From now, looking live over Hartford tonight, it is still raining. Yeah, but we have a great stretch of weather coming up as we close in on the official start of autumn next weekend. Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank kicking us off tonight. Rach, it's still raining out there for now, but not for that much longer, right?
Yeah, I sure hope you like sunshine and dry weather and nice comfy temperatures in the 70s, because that is the weather that we're going to be stuck with, whether you like it or not, I think, through the coming days. But for now, we got a bit more rain to get through, and yeah, surprise, surprise, it's pouring out there again. But this is the grand finale. And as we head through the next hour or two, we're going to get this out of here and start to move on to our next weather pattern, that beautiful stretch. Old Saybrook up through Chester and East Haddam. Locally heavier downpours, the windshield wipers working overtime for anybody that's out driving in Glastonbury or Newington. Luckily, though, this is a time that a lot of people are sitting on the couch or getting ready for bed. Tolland and Summers seeing some of that heavy rain, and this is going to continue to work into northeastern Connecticut over time. This is the back edge, so Litchfield, Morris, you guys are dry. Watertown, you're dry, and more towns are going to end up dry as we head through the evening and overnight. There is still a flood watch in effect for Hartford, Tolland, and Windham counties. Again, just with all of the rain that we've seen recently, it might not take much to push things over the edge, but we are seeing the end. It is near, at least at this point. Temperatures right now close to 60 degrees. We'll see overnight lows in the 50s. It'll be nice and refreshing when you wake up tomorrow morning. And look at this, lots of sunshine, a bit breezy tomorrow, but overall a gorgeous day to spend time outside. And we'll do it again Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, your full forecast coming up.
All right, Rachel, thank you. Well, turning now to election 2023 and the ongoing controversy surrounding the Bridgeport mayoral primary. Officials are now calling for further investigation into what police are calling possible misconduct. New surveillance video was released that appears to show a city worker stuffing absentee ballots into a drop box. Fox 61's DeAndrea Turner joins us with what the Secretary of the State's office is saying tonight. DeAndrea.
Well, Brent and Sarah, in a press conference, the Secretary of State says they've received numerous complaints and concerns from people since that video surfaced on Saturday, but she honed in on the fact that her office doesn't have the authority to investigate this alleged improper action, while calling on those who can to do so.
The public is correctly concerned and outraged, and I'm here today to let everyone know that our office takes the security of our elections extremely seriously.
On Saturday, the John Gomes for Mayor campaign released a surveillance video on social media, which allegedly shows a city worker making several drops into the absentee ballot box outside of Bridgeport's government center in a 2-hour span a week before primary day. Mayoral candidate John Gomes is accusing incumbent Mayor Joe Ganim and some of his supporters of stealing the election when he lost to Ganim by around 250 votes in the Democratic mayoral primary Tuesday. Gomes had been in lead until the absentee ballots were tallied.
Imagine what else has been happening that we have not seen.
Now the Secretary of the State's office wants the public to know while they have no authority to investigate improper election actions,
that authority rests with the State Elections Enforcement Commission, or SEEK, as it's known.
They want SEEK to do so.
I urge SEEK to do everything in its power to move swiftly with this investigation.
Governor Nat Lamont is also calling for a deeper investigation.
Don't jump to conclusions. I say that every time. but I really want to thoroughly investigate this.
Secretary Thomas says in cases like this, the most important thing to do is be an educated voter.
And I cannot stress enough that the best antidote for election impropriety and misinformation is an informed electorate.
Now, the Bridgeport mayor did release a statement today in regard to these accusations, saying in part, "I want to state unequivocally that I did not condone any actions taken by anyone, including any campaign, city, or elected official, which undermines the integrity of either the electoral process or the city property." Now, SEEK has a meeting on Wednesday morning, but did not confirm or deny complaints about the allegations. In the studio, DeAndrea Turner, Fox 61, Connecticut News Station.
All right, DeAndrea, thank you. Now, it might be several months out, but Election Day will be here before we know it, and state officials want to make sure Connecticut voters are ready for November. Secretary of the State Stephanie Thomas will kick off National Voter Registration Day tomorrow. Secretary Thomas will be at Central Connecticut State University as part of a voter registration drive, encouraging other colleges and universities to follow suit to get younger voters signed up and registered for November.
It's back to the Capitol tomorrow for lawmakers. Governor Lamont has called for a special session. Among the topics legislative leaders will discuss whether or not to consider a bill that would change the date of Connecticut's presidential primary. Previously, the proposal received a good deal of support but didn't pass on time. The bipartisan push is getting another chance, with many lawmakers calling to push the 2024 primary to the first week of April instead of the last. The special session will also be used to consider the governor's latest nomination for the state Supreme Court. Lawmakers will consider his nomination of Nora Danahy to the state Supreme Court. After the General Assembly receives Danahy's nomination, it will go to a public hearing, followed by votes in the full legislature.
A Torrington man has died after crashing his car into a church over the weekend. Police say 43-year-old William Buttery collided with another vehicle before crashing into St. John's Episcopal Church on Church Street. The building wasn't badly damaged, and the other driver involved in the collision wasn't hurt. The cause of the crash is still under investigation tonight. The state police have still not identified the man killed after being hit while trying to cross the highway down in Stamford. State police say the victim was hit along I-95 North near exit 8. Troopers don't know why the man was walking on the highway in the first place. The driver involved was not hurt.
New at 10 tonight, the Office of Inspector General has opened an investigation into an officer-involved shooting in the town of Orange. This incident happened over the weekend. Officials say police were called to the Burlington Coat Factory on Boston Post Road late Friday. Police say an alleged shoplifter tried to run off and get into a vehicle. Police say the officer tried to break things up and was pulled into the vehicle. Another officer tried to intervene before police say the vehicle hit a police cruiser and tried to get away. The officer outside the vehicle fired his weapon once at the vehicle but didn't hit anyone. The two suspects in that vehicle were taken into custody a short time later. The Inspector General says neither officer activated their body cameras at the time of the shooting.
A New Haven man has pleaded guilty to murder charges in the 2019 killing of a man in Hamden. 23-year-old Pharaoh Jackson pleaded guilty to felony murder charges. According to court records, back in 2019, he shot and killed 35-year-old Corey Gomes during a robbery. Hamden police had been investigating the deadly shooting as a botched drug deal and an armed robbery. Jackson is expected to be sentenced in November.
Caught on camera, it's one of the top stories right now on Fox61.com. Take a look. Home surveillance video shows a Westport man being jumped in his own garage and then carjacked. The suspects then made off with his Aston Martin. The incident happened Sunday. The video shows the suspects enter the victim's garage and attack him while he was still in the vehicle. The suspects then throw him out and take off with the car. Police believe the owner was followed home and targeted. Some big news for Connecticut workers who are on minimum wage.
Yeah, the new year will bring a bump in pay come 2024. Governor Lamont announced today, starting on January 1st, the state's minimum wage rate will go up from $15 an hour to $15.69. Connecticut had just completed its annual minimum wage rate increases as of this year, topping out at $15 an hour. However, for the first time in Connecticut's history, the rate will grow based on national data about the economy, what the Department of Labor calls Employment Cost Index. However, there are those who are skeptical about whether this will truly help or hurt Connecticut's economy.
There's no such thing as a free lunch. What may sound good news on one end always has implications downstream.
A lot of people think the minimum wage is something that teenagers make, but no, there are so many adults out there in our state that are trying to support their families.
The state estimates the wage rate will increase. The increase will directly impact as many as 200,000 minimum wage workers.
Sports bettors in Connecticut now have a new place to wager. Hartford's XL Center is the newest site for sports wagering in our state, and Fox 61's Gabby Molina is live in Hartford with more on today's grand opening and what it means for the capital city. Gabby.
Sarah, the XL Center's new sports bar and sports book is part of an effort to revitalize this section of downtown Hartford, turning what was once a concrete slab into a brand new venue that connects the XL Center to the streets down below.
I've lived in Hartford for 10 years. This is like really exciting.
A years-long plan of bringing a sports bar and sports book to Hartford's XL Center is now a reality.
It took a long time to get this done, but we're very happy with the results. It was, as you can see, a massive construction job.
A high-stakes vision come to life. More than 80 televisions, 14 self-service sports betting terminals, and a full-service bar and restaurant that can fit about 300 people, sitting right above the city's downtown.
I can't imagine something more fun than just being able to watch the game on TV, have something to drink, maybe bet on another game, and then still be able to see into the arena and just kind of feel that energy that's happening.
That's exactly what officials are hoping for, a goal of making the XL Center a destination once again, and injecting some life into that part of the city.
This corridor down Allen Street to Union Station is a really important corridor where we're working to try to encourage investment and revive that part of downtown.
And they say this is only the first step.
Why can't we make this place the nicest arena in the state of Connecticut where families want to go? And that's exactly what this is going to do. And this is phase one. This is just the first part of the work, and there's more to come.
Sports fans say it's a good place to start, giving them a chance to cheer on all of their teams while being up close to the action on game day.
I think this is the beginning of great things. I really do. This is great. This is absolute. I think Hartford needed this for so bad for so long.
A couple of reminders about sports betting. You do have to be 21 years old and older to do so. And here in Connecticut, they do not allow bets on any Connecticut collegiate teams. Live in Hartford, Gabby Molina, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Gabby, thank you.